Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we'll be talking about the Golden State Warriors. These are my way too early season preview for the Golden State Warriors. So let's talk about it. I want to hear your thoughts down below. What do you think of this team? And what is your predictions for them? Obviously, we're predicting the defending NBA champions to probably be a top 3 seed. That's what we can easily see. They're most likely going to be a top 3 seed. So let's get right into it. As you guys know, they did draft a few players this year. Guy Santos, Ryan Rollins. They also got themselves, Patrick Baldwin Jr., which was a great pickup. We can all agree that was a solid one. And this draft, we could argue, was a good one for them. Okay, they got talent. But let's talk about the players who left. So the players that left: Juan Toscano Anderson, Otto Porter, Gary Payton II, Damian Lee, Chris Chiozza, and Nemanja Bjelica. And they all just they left. They all got their contracts, rightfully so, after winning a championship. Andre Iguodala has not been re-signed. He could be. And Quindary Witherspoon, we don't know if he's going to come back because Lester Quinaz got himself a 2-way contract, okay? And they brought in Dante DiVincenzo. They did bring back Kevon Looney. And right now, it's looking like Steph Curry is going to be the starter. Klay Thompson, Aaron Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevon Looney are going to round out the starting lineup, with James Wiseman slowly being integrated back into the team at the center position. Draymond Green's going to be backed up by Jonathan Kuminga. Moses Moody's going to back up, Andrew Wiggins. Then Dante DiVincenzo is going to back up Klay Thompson. And then their sixth man is probably going to be Jordan Poole backing up Steph Curry. Then we would assume that Ryan Rollins, if they bring him on, he's going to be bouncing between point guard and shooting guard as the third string option. Then Guy Santos, he would take the Juan Toscano Anderson role, bouncing between small forward and power forward. And I don't know if they're going to bring Justin Jessup, but Patrick Baldwin, I think he's going to take the Otto Porter Jr. role and be playing power forward, small forward, and even small ball 5 whenever needed, okay? And obviously, a lot of this hinges that James Wiseman's going to return. He's going to play up to par. And for me, I think it is possible, okay? And also, people don't realize that right now, this is a team that arguably is only, 3, 6, 9... 11. They have 11 players on the roster right now, and we assume I think Guy Santos and Ryan Rollins, if they're right there at 11 players, that's 13. And then you bring back Iggy, that's 14, and they still have one more roster spot. So it's looking like this could all work out very well for them. And I think it's interesting because, I don't know who they would bring back from the free agents, because the only one I think is Andre Iguodala, okay? And I think they're liking their young guys in Santos, Rollins, and they're hoping Wiseman, he's going to be the main backup center till hopefully by the end of the year he'll be the starting center, we would assume is what they would like to progress. And with Patrick Baldwin Jr. playing power forward, small forward because of his size. And I think, again, taking on that, Jonathan Kuminga is going to take on the Otto Porter role in the minutes, but they hope that eventually Patrick Baldwin could play the Otto Porter role. And then similarly with Guy Santos, I think Guy Santos can pick up those minutes. So I think he's a lot better than people are. 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan, he's been shocking. Guy Santos was somebody that they wanted to draft and stash, and that's still possible. They still have a lot of roster spaces available, and they're not in any sort of doomsday scenario like that they're gonna have to be required to do some radical move real quick. I think right now they're in a good situation, and if I were them, I wouldn't necessarily be concerned, okay? I really would not be scared, okay? Everything's gonna be fine, and they're in a situation that, run it back, let the young guys develop, do not trade for Kevin Durant. I don't see the purpose in trading for Kevin Durant. That's my take on it. Why would you trade for Kevin Durant? What are they going to get from it? Okay. How is he going to help the team? I don't see how he helps the team. So for me, I think that their best interest is to bring in the young guys. Their core is good in Thompson, Curry, Wiggins, Green, Looney, Poole, DiVincenzo as the first 7 guys, and then add Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga as the 9-man rotation. Throw in Wiseman as the 10-guy rotation. Right there, you literally have 11 players signed. You have 4 roster spaces, 1 more two-way contract. For me, I think it's in their best interest. Sign Ryan Rollins, Guy Santos, even Justin Jessup if you want to. Right there, that brings you at 14. You still have 1 more roster space. You sign maybe Justin Jessup or Guy Santos or Ryan Rollins, one of them to a two-way contract, because you can have two-way contracts, and that way you have 2 more roster spaces left, and everyone signed of the young guys, and then you're able to bring in another 2 free agents if you really want to, in veterans. And if you look in the veteran market, for me, the guys that this team could be looking at, and again, I think this team, regardless of what they do right now with the current 11 players on there, the team arguably 12 if you put Lester Quinones on there, they are a top 3 seed. And out there, I think it's in their best interest. If they want to go veteran, dude, I've thought about Carmelo, but Carmelo would never. It would just be a publicity stunt, but it would just be funny. And they wouldn't bring back Boogie. There's no point. They need more. They'd either need an actual 3rd string point guard, which in my case, I would love to see Austin Rivers there. He could be the veteran for them. The tenacity could be perfect for them there. Another guy is Eric Pascal. They drafted him. He's a quick-footed wing who can play power forward and, small forward and even small ball 5. He shot 38% last year, and he played barely any minutes, averaged 6 points, 2 rebounds a game, and I think he's someone who could come on a minimum contract. Eric Pascal wouldn't be bad. Or obviously Iguodala they bring back, that'd be one of them. If they want to get another veteran, put one of the young guys on a 2-way. For me, I think they keep looking. Like I said, they're going to probably bring back Iggy. I feel like that's just a certain. I think they could just look for a young guy. And there's a lot of guys like Brandon Goodwin. He's an athletic point guard with some playmaking ability as a drive and kick guy. Or would they try to redevelop and, a reclamation project like Jarrett Culver, the failed top pick of the Minnesota Timberwolves? He's athletic as hell. He has defensive potential, but he's so raw offensively. Maybe they make it work, okay? Or do they go for like a veteran who struggles to shoot the ball but can finish above the rim and stole a bunch of money from the Timberwolves and Jake Layman? I'm kidding. These are terrible options. I mean, Chris Dunn, Jalen Howard is another guy. This guy could be a small ball 5 and a power forward. I mean, he played a few games last year and averaged almost 15 points and 12 rebounds a game. Jalen Howard, I think, is a legitimate guy. Jarrett Culver, Brandon Goodwin, Eric Pascal. Those are old guys that I think they should be looking at to bring in besides Andre Iguodala as, I think, reclamation projects at this point. Even Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot would be cool. Or Josh Jackson, guys that they think they could fix their jump shot that are just a jump shot away from Katrina. Or Yuta Watanabe. There's a huge Asian population in California, and Yuta Watanabe is a guy who can hit it. And they would get a bunch of fans for him coming in. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me